So this is my dog Baby, and we found her about 5 years ago. She was wandering the woods, and my mom's friend was coming over to visit, and she ended up finding her. So we called all the shelters and put up flyers looking for her, and no one claimed her. No one said they were missing a dog, so we ended up keeping her. At that time, we didn't have any other dogs. And she's actually been great since. However, last year she started seizing, and so we took her to the vet, and she's on like 5 different medications, and she's had about 2 seizures since she's been on the medication. And she also developed an issue with her thyroid, and she's hypothyroid. One of the issues is she wasn't microchipped when we did find her, so if she was, we probably could have returned her to her owner, as well as if the dog birth certificate legislation was put into act, her parents' information would have been included in the birth certificate, which may have included any illnesses that they had or genetic diseases that they had, so we would be able to know that Baby had this issue previous to her starting to seize, so maybe we would have known what to look for. Okay. And also, not only am I the only person who has had issues and problems with their dog, the one vet that I work for, he ended up saving a dog that was going to be euthanized, who also developed issues with seizing, as well as my dog Baby, and this is his story.
Okay. I met Sunny when I was an associate veterinarian in Clinton, New Jersey, approximately 8 years ago. And he was just a puppy, bought from a breeder in New Jersey, purebred golden. And he was neutered at that practice, and approximately at 1 year of age, he was diagnosed with epilepsy. During that time, he was placed on several medications, including phenobarb and potassium bromide. And then I left that practice, and 4 years later, when I was working at an emergency practice in Somerville, I heard a story about a golden who was relinquished by the owner because he had a giant seizure, and they had lost their job and they could not afford the workup. So they were going to euthanize the pet, and the technician took Sunny in. So I went to the clinic and looked through the paperwork because I was looking for a second dog, and I'm leafing through the paperwork, and I see this name Sunny Pyle, and it looked familiar, and then I keep leafing, and then I see my handwriting, and so I realized that I met him 4 years earlier. So I took him in for a trial period with my other dog for 5 days, and my wife and I decided we'd like to keep him, so we kept him, and I've had him ever since. It was approximately 6-7 years.
So what precautions do you have to take in regards to vaccines or anesthesia?
Want to ask me again?
What precautions do you have to take in regards to vaccinating Sunny?
Because he's on so many seizure meds, specifically phenobarbital, it can affect his metabolism. As far as vaccines go, if the pet is healthy, we can vaccinate. In Sunny's case, I have been able to vaccinate him. I don't do more than 1 vaccine at a time. But the biggest precaution I have with him is any sort of medication he has to be on. Because the phenobarbital increases a pet's metabolism, it can actually make a lower dose medication the effect equivalent to a higher dose medication. So you have to be very careful about the dosing you do. And you also have to be very careful about certain drug interactions. I think he's on 5 anti-seizure meds right now.
Okay. All right. Thank you.